Good day and welcome to another presentation in Literatures in English. Today we will be analyzing one of Lorna Goodison's poems, Judges. I am your presenter, Anush Harrison Jackson. The objectives of this presentation are as follows. 1. To analyze the title of this poem from various perspectives. 2. To discuss the different traditional norms opposed by Lorna Goodison in a bid to present the modernized woman, who is not bound by traditional ideologies. 3. To discuss how Lorna Goodison cleverly uses literary techniques to advocate her rejection of societal restrictions. And 4. To allow students to remember the essential features of this poem by completing several engaging activities. I trust that you will find this presentation memorable and useful. Blessings. As we examine closely the title Judges, what are some of the ideas or thoughts that may have crossed your mind regarding this title? Your analyzation of the title may have brought the following results. Judges. Judges are judgmental individuals. Judges. Judges are adjudicators. Judges. The book of the Bible. Judges. Lawmakers. If you had considered one or even all of the given responses regarding the title, you are on your way to not only understanding but also unlocking Lorna Goodison's poem Judges. Well done! The title from a biblical perspective. The book of Judges is the seventh book of the Hebrew Bible and the Christian Old Testament. In the narrative of the Hebrew Bible, it covers the time between the conquest described in the book of Joshua and the establishment of a kingdom in the books of Samuel, during which biblical judges serve as temporary leaders. They were the judicators. They actually governed or ruled or set the laws. Judges. The title Judges from the literal perspective. The title Judges literally means adjudicators. These individuals were officially appointed or elected to conduct court proceedings. Judges have the authority to hear, determine, and preside over legal matters. They are expected to be impartial in all matters. The title from the figurative perspective. The title metaphorically represents those individuals who are judgmental. They like to cast judgments based on their own personal beliefs, social or moral compass, or even on traditional conventions. They would even go as far as to use the Bible to support their position on a matter that they believe is worthy of condemnation. Reading and analysis of the poem Judges. Unhappiness is not grounds for divorce. Marriage does not guarantee happiness. This court does not support woman's liberation. Well, hear this. Those are my grounds as a poet. This court does not support woman's liberation. In this stanza, Lorna Goodison presents a courtroom, more specifically a divorce court. It is quite clear that the judges have made their ruling and they are not in support of a divorce. The reasons they have taken such a position seem absurd. 1. Unhappiness is not grounds for divorce. 2. Marriage does not guarantee happiness. And 3. This court does not support woman's liberation. Lorna Goodison sarcastically and cleverly displays a rejection of traditional ideologies regarding marriages, such as the famous position for better or for worse. She does this by utilizing a myriad of techniques. She uses one, repetition. This court does not support women's liberation. Two, ironies. Unhappiness is not grounds for divorce. Marriage does not guarantee happiness. Oh, ironic. People get married in order to be happy. People get divorced because they are unhappy. Then she uses punctuation marks. In this case, the exclamation marks. Well, hear this. Those are my grounds as a poet. The exclamation marks clearly suggests strong emotions or feelings. Hence, it is quite clear that she advocates strongly on the behalf of the woman who should be liberated. Therefore, sir, you do not recognize the daughters of the revolution. You with the poodle wig and drunk crow covers about you. Recognize them. They are working in your kitchen, cooking compliments for your slow-witted wife. Anza, Lorna admonishes the judges to recognize the daughters of the revolution, the women who represent the transformation or change from traditional conventions or ideologies. Her sarcastic tone continues in her statement, you with the poodle wig and drunk who covers about you, which is somewhat humorous. This shows her ridicule or disgust at the absurd laws. She tells the judges that these liberated women are everywhere. In fact, they are in your kitchen cooking compliments for your slow-witted wife. In these lines, Lorna Goodison uses humor. 2. Alliteration, cooking compliments, crow covers, slow-witted wife. Metaphor, cooking compliments suggests that the compliments are manufactured, fabricated, not sincere. Repetition, recognize, emphasizing the need for recognition of these liberated women. They are used to biting their lips under the violation of your sons, for whose first experience you choose a young clean maid. In this stanza, Lorna makes reference to the sexual exploitation or violation of slaves, more specifically the domestic slave or house slave, who are usually violated by the planter. The fact that the planter chooses a young clean maid for his son suggests that he does not condemn this grotesque act, but the tradition of sexual exploitation will be passed down to the next generation, his son. You do not recognize Imogen and Joyce and Irma, the daughters of the royal Levi and auxiliary, they who sprout white wings on Sundays, their bosom breathing orchid's powder. In this stanza, Lorna Goodison uses several rhetorical questions, hinting at the disbelief. How could it be that they have not recognized these pivotal persons who have played such an important role in the movement and shaking of traditional norms and ideologies? They support themselves like me. Some have surpassed the strength of men. Imogen has the strength of 10. She has sent gunmen into bowed retreat. And Irma, who raised the red flag like Mother Banner, struck more bullets for the party than any man. In this stanza, Lorna Goodison emphasizes the strength of women. She indicates that not only do women have the ability to sustain themselves without male assistance, but they can also do what a man does, and even far more. Imogen has the strength of 10. She speaks to the woman's physical and military abilities, struck more bullets for the party than any man. You do not recognize woman's liberation. Do you know the infinity of my mother's strength? Do you know the resilience of my epileptic sister? My grandmother fell from the height of her horse at age 101, and you do not recognize woman's liberation? In this stanza, Lorna continues to emphasize the physical strength of women using several rhetorical questions. And no one told you I was a poet. You who sit in judgment on the ones who come, moved by the non-grounds of unhappiness. I am lining up these words, holding them behind the barrier of my teeth, bidding my time as only a woman can. I have a poem for you, Judge Man. Lorna Goodison points out the liberty that a poet has, the freedom of expression to write on any given topic or subject he or she chooses. In the court of law, you may not be able to express yourself freely because you may be in contempt of the law. Hence, she holds her words behind the barriers of her teeth. She also alludes to the emotional and mental strength of women, bidding my time as only a woman can. She ends by saying that I have a poem for you, Judge Man. Questions on the poem Judges. This poem explores all of the following themes except A. Appearance versus reality. B. Freedom versus restriction. C. The strength of a woman. D. Tradition versus modernity. Lorna Goodison uses all of the following devices in this poem except A. Alliteration. B. Metaphor. C. Hyperbole. D. Paradox. What does the statement unhappiness is not grounds for divorce mean? A. You cannot file for divorce if you are happy. B. You need to work out your differences. C. Unhappiness is not a justifiable cause or reason to request a divorce. D. Stay married because unhappiness does not last forever. What literary device is contained in these lines? They are working in your kitchen, cooking compliments for your slow-witted wife. A. Irony. B. Metaphor. C. Personification. D. Sarcasm. Lorna Goodison suggests in this poem all of the following except A. Women are extremely strong and they have endured a lot. B. Women are traitors and revolutionaries. C. Women are as militant as men. D. Women have the ability to sustain themselves. Lorna Goodison uses rhetorical questions in this poem to A. To evoke sympathy for the woman's plight. B. To emphasize the need to recognize the strength of women. C. To show that men are blatantly rude. D. To suggest that the woman has no grounds to file for divorce but is promiscuous. The following lines reveal Lorna's rejection of societal restrictions. A. Well, hear this. Those are my grounds as a poet. B. You sit in judgment on the ones who come moved by the non-grounds of unhappiness. C. This court does not support women's liberation. D. They support themselves like me. The answers to the multiple choice questions on judges are as follows. Number 1, A. Number 2, D. Number 3, C. Number 4, B. Number 5, B. Number 6, B. Number 7, A. short answer questions. List three techniques giving examples of each used by Lorna Goodison in this poem and comment on their effectiveness. 2. Discuss one theme explored in this poem in approximately 7 to 10 sentences. 3. Why do you think women's liberation is so important to Lorna Goodison? I trust that you have found this presentation enlightening. If there are any comments, please leave them in the comments box below. Remember to click like, share, subscribe. God bless you and respond to the questions. God bless you.